this in your backyard to look at. And here is the Aura Ring winner.
You guys are in for a real treat.
There you go.
This climb just never gets easier. I'm toasted already.
Sterling, what are you gonna get? Yeah. Are your minds blown? Mine is. Look at this beautiful morning in Colorado. It is so green out this time of year. We have this for maybe a month to a month and a half where it's this green. Some is from rain that we get this time of year. Some I think is from just the snow melts and the soil being saturated, but god dang, it looks so pretty out. So today, headed to the gym, gonna do a Hyrox type workout with my buddy Ty. We have Hyrox coming up in 1 week in New York City, or I do at least. I don't think Ty's doing that one. And then I have the World Championships. We both have the World Championships. That is the June 15th-ish, the second weekend in June. So that's what we are training for. A couple new updates. I got this really cool new heater in the sauna, Homecraft. I believe this is what Sisu is going to be switching to for their saunas. I think it's a Canadian company. It freaking cranks. I didn't not like the Whom, but it is now retired. One of the coils had burned out and I was just going to replace the coil, but Pete at Sisu said, let's just get you a Homecraft because that's what we're going to be switching to in the future. So giant heater with giant rocks in it, and it heats up to 195 in like 25 minutes. Just absolutely cranks. After the morning workout, I'm gonna be going to Salida today to mountain bike, going with a few friends, Sterling, Bickle, and Mike. We're gonna be going to Robbie's restaurant. I have been on dog duty all week with Blaze. Blaze, you wanna say hi? No, you're tired? Sarah's in Florida visiting her family, so I've gotten to be a dog dad for the whole week. She usually is the one who takes Blaze on most of her walks and feeds Blaze, and she's ultimately Blaze's dog. She got Blaze when Blaze was a puppy, rescued from the tornadoes in Oklahoma, and I mean, they have a really special mother-dog bond, so I'm grateful that Sarah has let me adopt Blaze. She's awesome. You're awesome. Up, up, up. All right, here's what I'm doing pre-workout. I'm gonna do cold brew coffee and then a little bit of Transparent Labs protein powder. I did this yesterday and it tasted amazing. I'm also gonna do a little pre-workout because I'm feeling a little tired today, and beta-alanine specifically always gives me that feeling of just wanting to go hard. Gives me the tingles. So I'm gonna do a little pre-workout this morning, cold brew coffee, protein powder, just probably a scoop of it. I'm not gonna go too crazy. I tend to not do a ton of calories before my workouts. I like having maybe 100, 200 calories in, but I don't know, I found for like 60 to 80 minute workouts, I don't need a ton of fuel to get through it. If the workouts are longer in the morning or really intense, then I will have a little bit more of a meal, but generally it's pretty light. I'm generally just doing coffee and some kind of calories, oftentimes a banana, just some kind of fruit. But I did this yesterday with the cold brew coffee and it tasted really good, so I'm kind of craving it this morning. And then after the workout, that's when I'll have a much more substantial breakfast. I'll usually do eggs, fruit, and honey, or I'll make a smoothie or a smoothie bowl with protein powder. But ultimately, I mean, the more real food I can get into my system throughout the day, the better I feel. Maybe mixed up, put some ice in. This is the vanilla peanut butter flavor. So vanilla peanut butter cold brew coffee right here. Gonna taste delicious. And then a little bit of pre-workout right before I go into the gym. I haven't written out the workout yet. I've been writing out all of the workouts lately. I'm taking a little bit still from Jason Grubb's Boulder Athlete, but I'm doing most of the conditioning, just what I feel like I need to work on to improve my Hyrox time. So what that means is I'm doing a lot of longer conditioning sessions, and I'm programming workouts so that I'm doing each thing for like 4 minutes, because that's about what it is in Hyrox. You know, I'm running for about 4 minutes, and then each of the workout stations, give or take, are around 4 minutes. So I'm trying to program a longer duration with each movement that I do, where CrossFit would be much shorter. You know, let's say like Fran 21-15-9, you know, you're only on those thrusters for 45 seconds and the pull-ups for 45 seconds, if that. So I would say that's the big difference in how I program conditioning specifically for Hyrox. Is I'm just doing all of the movements for longer, and then the workouts are longer too. CrossFit workouts oftentimes are 5 to 15 minutes at the end of the strength training and gymnastics, and these Hyrox workouts, they're usually 30 to 60 minutes in duration, so much longer conditioning sessions. But I feel like it's helping me tremendously with the muscle endurance and just the ability to push for 60 minutes, which, you know, is much different than CrossFit, where, you know, the workouts are shorter, more anaerobic. You know, this is more about holding zone 4 for 60 minutes. So that's how I've been programming the workouts lately. I'm doing a little less strength work, doing maybe 3 days of strength, where historically, if I'm training for CrossFit, I'm doing upwards of 5 to 6 days of strength. I haven't been snatching, I haven't been overhead squatting, I haven't been doing like handstand walks, I haven't been doing a lot of the gymnastics. So all of that has just kind of gone by the wayside to give me more time and energy for all the conditioning. So conditioning right now is up here, strength has definitely come down a bit. Some of that is attributed to the higher volume of running that I'm doing now. I'm running about 30 miles a week, and I'm biking 4 to 5 days a week, probably around 100 miles of mountain biking each week. So much more cardio volume, a little bit less strength volume. That's how I've been training for Hyrox. I'm enjoying it right now. I mean, when you have this in your backyard to look at and play in every single day, it's hard to not want to be outside running and biking in the mountains. So I really do enjoy the training, and I've always struggled with that with CrossFit. To be really good at CrossFit, like, you got to be doing double gym sessions, oftentimes 4 to 5 times per week. And man, I just have a tough time spending that much time in the gym when this is just begging me to go play in it. So I'm training, gonna hit the workout here in a little bit. We'll share the workout once I write it out, and then excited to show you guys Salida again with the crew that I'm going with. All right, here is the Aura Ring winner. So total steps that I took in the Grand Canyon doing rim to rim to rim, 87,234. The winner is Mikey Hansen, 78. I'm gonna reply to your comment here right now. You said 88,192. There were a lot of people who were really close, but Mikey Hansen, you are the closest. So I'm gonna reply right now to you on here so we can get you an Aura Ring. I'm just gonna need congratulations. Thanks everybody for taking a stab at how many steps I took doing rim to rim to rim at the Grand Canyon. I will be doing it again. I know I said after that I would never do it again, but I feel like it's like my first Ironman, where after I did it, I said I'll never do that again, and then like 30 minutes later, I'm signing up for another one. It's kind of how rim to rim to rim is. So it was a super fun adventure. All right, here's what we got on tap today. We have this text chain called the Geriatrics class. All of us who train together here at Arsenal. We've got shoulders and back today, 5x5 strict press, 5x5 bench press, superset into 20 push-ups and 15 skull crushers, kind of a little pump sesh, and then DB shoulder press, 4x12 superset with 4x12 DB row. And then conditioning today is 4 time, 60 wall balls, 50 meters of burpee broad jumps, 60 kale ski, 120 meter farmer's carry, 60 kale row, 20 burpee pull-ups, 60 kale bike. I'm thinking that'll take like 20 minutes, and that's meant to be done at a very high intensity. It's jamming in here today. These guys are just getting warmed up. We got Sterling, we got Hank, we got Wade, we got Bickle, we got Jake who owns Arsenal, and we got a couple people visiting from Wisconsin who are going to train with us, Justin and Heather.
You're gonna be a performer?
I'm here to perform for today's day in the life. Not a normal day in the life. This is a performance day in the life.
Nice.
Featuring Matthew, Eric, Sterling, and Michael Adala. You guys are in for a real treat. We're gonna work out. We're gonna sweat. We're gonna go down to Salida. We're gonna party. We're bringing dogs. We're gonna ride bikes. Woo! That's all.
Are your minds blown? Mine is. That's an incredible performance. I'm just gonna keep loading the barbell up until Wade can't hang with me anymore. Shoulder press is one of my superhuman movements. I think it's because all
body weight to shoulder press is
it's pretty impressive.
Pretty solid.
I think it's
but
because
you are a Hyrox athlete now, so.
Yeah, I'm getting weaker. So fun fact, all I did was bench press my freshman year of college, so my bench got really strong, my shoulders got really strong, and now my shoulders are still really strong from basically college. Let's do it. Just see what happens. Yeah, that's dad strength right there. When you got 8 kids, you get really strong. Nice. Don't disappoint. 2 more. 2 more. You got 2 more.
Not doing fit.
Is it 3 kids and 9 brand deals like having 6 kids?
It is. Yeah.
He's got 6 kids.
I know.
Yeah, what is it? 10 brand deals per kid?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got the same family.
Yeah, same family. Let's go, Batman.
What up?
Yeah, brother. I met Hank on Mount Morrison, and now he's jamming with us a few times a week. Heather and Justin in from Wisconsin.
Came to try to keep up with Eric.
That's right. All right, we're supersetting bench with push-ups and skull crushers. How about Sterling? Boy's getting jacked. And back muscles. His tattoos are starting to stretch.
These supersets are killing me, dude.
Start calling you the ultimate Sterling.
CrossFit Sterling.
Yeah, CrossFit Sterling. Yeah.
So you're...
I don't know what's happening.
I'm gonna cancel my gym membership, Jerry.
Sir, please just wait. We'll take care of this.
Every time Ty takes his shirt off.
I know.
Every time. Put it back on.
Yeah. It's too hard to handle. You'd think we were all bodybuilders with this workout we're doing, but then you look at our shoes, and you're like, they're not bodybuilders, they're runners. They're definitely runners. You got the most bodybuilder-esque shoes on.
Let's go, baby.
I guess Wade does too. That last part was brutal. My heart rate was about 150 the entire time, which that's about what I can race Hyrox at. This was the workout. 60 wall balls, 50 meters, so burpee, broad jump, 60 cal ski, 200 meter farmer's carry, 60 cal row, 20 movement pull-ups, 60 cal bike. God dang. That hurt. Gotta leave enough in the tank to hit the bike at like 75 RPM. All right, 57 minutes, 600 calories. Time to go home and refuel, walk blaze, and then off to Salida for some mountain biking. Awesome squad today. It's one of my favorite things about training is coming here to Arsenal. We got a squad of like 10 that joins every day. I would never go that hard in a workout by myself. And it's one of the reasons why I typically come and train at a gym with others instead of just training in the backyard. I know I'm gonna get a much better workout in. So highly encourage you guys to find your tribe. Definitely makes a massive difference. So you don't have to rely upon motivation. You just have structure and accountability. Weighing in at 175 right now. Nice and lean from all the running. Typically I'm about 180 when I'm training for CrossFit, or 185. When I'm doing a lot of running, I get down into the 170s, so that's where I'm at now. I think I've given a tour of Arsenal before, but podcast studio right here. Nobody's in here. Really cool setup. Obviously can't see anything because it's dark in there. Hyper Ice, Normatec boots, bunch of different chairs, so you can do compression, treatment rooms, massages, and dry needling. Lauren, who owns a company called Onward, is in here. And then this is the sauna cold area. Got a bunch of canes on here. Mr. Matt Shoy. Hello, how are you? Here's Onward. These guys rock. Dry needling. Go see them if you got a chronic injury. And then Sisu saunas, 2 of them, 2 ice barrels, 2 ice barrel 500s, and 2 chilling units. Changing room, super cool setup. Foam rollers and stuff. They built out a really dope space, and I've heard through the grapevine that they might be opening some more locations here in Denver. Pretty excited about that. We're not gonna have to call 911, are we?
No, we're good.
All right. How's that?
It's fun.
3rd time, 4th time joining the crew? How many times have you been here to the gym with us?
I think that was my 4th.
4th time?
Hasn't really gotten easier.
Yeah, it will. Give it time. Time and consistency.
Finished in about double the time you did, so.
You crushed it, man. Good work. All right, here's what breakfast looks like post-gym. I got some egg whites, I just poured a ton of liquid egg whites into a pan. I really don't know how many that is, but it's a lot. I got some Primal Kitchen buff sauce on top of that. I got some chicken sausage. I'm gonna do some pickled beets. These are really good. And then a few dates for carbs, and probably do like a little bowl of blueberries with some honey. That will hold me over through the mountain bike ride. And then after my mountain bike ride, I'll probably do like a little protein shake or have a protein bar just to get some more protein in before dinner tonight. I think the key with eating is single ingredient foods sourced from nature for the bulk of your diet, and the closer to the source, the better. And the other big key is having it on autopilot. I'm never really thinking about eating. I know when I'm gonna be eating each day. I know basically what I'm gonna be eating each day. And I know that, 15% of the time I'm gonna be going out to a dinner, and, I don't really care as much when I go out to dinner what I'm eating. It's more just when I'm here at the house, I have my routine. We keep the fridge and pantry stocked with healthy items and lots of meats and eggs and dairy, making sure that your environment doesn't create friction for how you want to eat. And that's what we do. That's what works for me. And there's a million different ways to eat. I don't eat any particular diet. I just eat foods that I enjoy that are generally high in protein, and I try to time carbs around many of my workouts. I do have fruit and honey for dessert most nights. So, all right, so Mike and I are pretty excited about Salida, but you want to know who's even more excited about Salida? This one right here. You want to go on a road trip?
Yeah, please.
You want to go on a road trip? Where are we gonna go? Want to go to Salida? You want to go to Salida? Come on. Let's go to Salida. Yeah. You had one of your worst crashes ever in Salida, right? Remember? Trying to go down that waterfall. You still have the mark?
Yeah, it's right there. See, this is my rose, and then every rose has its thorn, You see the scar right through it.
I remember the day that you did that. That was gnarly.
That was a tough rock garden right there.
So what do you got coming up? You got 50, 100, Leadville?
Yep, yeah, Leadville 100-mile bike ride coming up in August, and then we'll be training, not fully for this, but the two hands anyhow world records. There's an old-time strongman lift, started like in the late 1800s, where basically the rules are 2 weights from the ground, overhead, any way possible, max weight. Is the winner. And so this guy, Arthur Saxon, did 447 pounds back in 1905. So that's the record I got to beat. So we're going to do probably 365 pounds in a barbell on one hand, and then bend over, pick up an 85-pound kettlebell and lock those out. So that'll probably be in the winter time, but I'll start building that strength because that's heavy.
We'll tag Mike in this YouTube video so you can follow him. He has the Turkish get-up world record at 275 or 85? 255 pounds. So you gotta watch this video on his Instagram page. It's an absolutely incredible feat. He beat the record by 50 pounds.
Yeah,
55 pounds?
55. It was 200 pounds, and I had a good day.
He's a stud. His versatility is unbelievable. He did Leadman last year, which is the full Leadville race series, and then 6 months later, he's Turkish get-upping 255 pounds. Wild man. All right, let's see what Sterling's gonna steal en route to Salida. This is Sterling's 4th time mountain biking, so we're a little nervous about him. We hope he comes back alive.
I'm stealing some LMNT.
Smart.
This is the new flavor, isn't it?
Lemonade.
Lemonade salt.
It's so good.
Try these. The David bar.
Yep, smart choice.
Cake batter. I'm looking for ketone. These ones. Yep.
That one has caffeine. All right, he's
That's
ready to
the
go.
move. That's the move.
Yeah, 2-hour
So-
ride today, 3-hour ride tomorrow. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
guys-
Sterling ran his first 5K, or no, I guess that wasn't your first 5K, right? Your fastest 5K last weekend.
We're going to start there and keep pushing it, see where it goes.
Sterling, when he first met all of us, he, like many of my friends, were doing Leadville 100, the run, and in Sterling's mind, he thought that was just, something kind of anyone does in our friend group, run 100 miles, and he kind of justified it to himself. He came out and shot Leadville. He went back to his hotel room that night and woke up the next morning and had the revelation that, those guys are still out there running right now, right?
Yeah, all the way home after coming back from Leadville, it was Saturday morning. Then I did all the stuff I normally do on Saturday, woke up Sunday, and I was seeing on Instagram that some people were crossing the finish line, and I was like, they've been running since before I woke up the day before, and they're still fucking running. It was mind-blowing to me.
Oh, sorry, Blazing. All right, here's the adventure squad. Mike, Bickle, Sterling, Blaze. Blaze, where are we off to? Salida, Colorado. You're going back here. Wait till you see this incredible queen size bed I made you, Blaze. Look at that. I got a toy for you in there. Yeah. Get up there, bubbas. All right, get comfy, Blazy. All right, we got 2 hours and 30 minutes together, Blaze. Hey, Mr. Sterling, that was pretty nice of you to make me a sandwich.
I know that they spent
Caught red-handed. Blaze wants some too.
There's some wild money.
This is the track where I did the world's hardest mile for the very first time in this town, which is 1 lap of burpee broad jumps, 1 lap lunge, 1 lap bear crawl, 1 lap run. Platte Canyon School. And that first time I did it, I actually handstand walked one of the laps. So I think that was the first lap I did. I handstand walked it. And that lap alone took me like 25 plus minutes. And then I did burpee broad jumps, bear crawl, lunge. But now the world's hardest mile, to make it more accessible to everybody, is running the lap instead of handstand walking the lap, because that lap was brutal. We are about a third of the way to Salida. Got another hour and 41 minutes. All right, so we were here last weekend. This is the time of year that the snow starts to massively melt off the mountains. There's definitely a lot more snow last weekend coming down this road than there is now. All right, start of the Salida mountain biking adventures.
Yeah, boy.
You want to perform, Bickle? Nice.
Oh, I got a good dance too.
Yeah, let's see. Everybody wants to see your dance.
If you don't like seeing a grown man twerk in a handstand, turn away. If you do,
Ooh, a grown man twerk. Stan. There you go. That's Mike's pre-bike dance every day.
that's how I get
Every
hyped
day.
up. I'm ready.
All right, we're gonna ride Cottonwood, which is about a 2 hour, 2.5 hour, depending on who you are, ride. And then we're gonna earn our calories at Chavano. We're probably gonna get like 3 entrees each and 5 appetizers each. Man, that bike's heavier than you and bigger than you, Sterling.
You might want to ride my bike.
Yeah, that's a big bike. You guys shave your legs. That's the next step.
Yeah, great.
All right, let's ride. All right, we are headed up there. I love this Sterling's mountain bike. This climb just never gets easier. You just push a little harder. One of the common questions I get is, what are you listening to? I'll put a link to my Apple playlist. I'd say 75% of the time I'm listening to hip hop. 25% of the time I'm listening to like Rufus, Odessa, and sometimes I'll even just put one song on repeat. Puts my mind in a trance, but I'm always listening to music when I'm training, especially if I'm going pretty hard or going pretty long. All right, gotta make it up to 9,000 feet on this road. Then fun, flowy single track back into Salida.
I'm toasted already.
Yeah?
Rusty lung is by far the worst of the whole thing. I thought that,
Start with the climb.
yeah, Rusty lung was bad. Then backbone was actually pretty nice. Sweet dreams was long as hell. I thought it was gonna be shorter. Just kept going and going and going. And same thing with chicken dinner. I finally got to that one. I was like, cool. I think, what's your time on that? Like 8-9 minutes?
Yeah.
I was like, cool. Can't be that long. That one kind of started to drag on and on and on. I'm at the end of my like nutritional capability, so my body's starting to hit that like shaky, super hungry phase. We only got 2 miles back up though, so
You're gonna make it. You're
all
gonna
good.
survive. You're
Yeah,
gonna
I still
survive
feel
this
good.
one.
I still feel good.
Yeah, I'm an hour 40 in, so that's a long ride.
Yeah, it was a long ride. My ass hurt, my thumbs hurt. I like, even on the downhill parts, my quads are starting to shake, so I can't like, I don't want to stand anymore. I'm just like sitting, riding, like resting as much as possible. Good though.
Heck yeah, it's beautiful out today.
I know, it's really nice.
My favorite part's coming up next, where we look at Strava and we compare all of the segments. And Mike always wants to compete on chicken dinner, so I made sure I conserved a little energy so that I could crush him on chicken dinner today. Check the Strava segments here in a little bit. We just gotta head right back into town over here, take Blaze for a walk, and then Chavano for dinner. We're gonna eat a lot. All right, that's a wrap. 23 miles, 2 hours and 4 minutes, 2,500 feet of climbing. Definitely earned dinner. Man, that trail's awesome. Cottonwood, I can't wait to check Strava. I think I got some PRs today, baby. All right, check this out on Strava. PR, 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 PR. I like seeing that. Fitness increase, 73. What else do we got? Cottonwood downhill fast section. Lots of PRs on the Cottonwood section. Spiral drive, that's a climb. mainly downhills that I PR'd. I definitely want to see some PRs on uphills soon too. All right, we're gonna eat a lot of food.
What's up, dude?
Is Mike walking his bike in? I think he had a mechanical issue on Sweet Dreams.
I think I saw him send a text that said fixed it like a mechanic. So.
Yeah, should be good. It's hopping in here. It's so awesome to see. Look at this menu. Sterling, what are you gonna get?
I haven't decided yet.
The ribeye's insane.
That's what I'm getting.
Good, how are you? I just slammed my brakes on. I'm like, go on, drill! And he freaks out.
Yeah, he's almost scared him.
It's gonna go life out of me.
That one was really good. You thought you were dying.
I really did, because I had
How was it?
I was having so much fun until I just couldn't shift anymore.
So did the battery die?
No, I didn't really know what happened, but I just had to like pull the thing when it pushed down, so when it shift into a smaller gear. So for like half of Sweet Dreams, I just walked everything up.
But then you got it fixed?
But then I just like jammed it back and then it shifted.
Oh, it's your weight. That's so cool, 255.
Yep.
That's dope. Let's compare Strava's, Mike.
Yeah, this is a losing game for me.
All right, so tell me what you want to compare. Where'd you get a PR?
Alright, PR Cottonwood downhill fast section long.
What was your time?
16:13.
12:50. That's flying.
That's fast. Okay.
Real fast.
What was your chicken dinner time?
I knew he was going to ask chicken dinner. I told you guys. Mike always wants to compete on chicken dinners. I predicted this.
Yeah,
I predicted this.
I had to pass a guy, and he was going so slow.
I saved some in the tank because I knew all you wanted to compete on was chicken dinner. Chicken dinner was 9:17.
Ooh, 10:03.
10:03 is pretty fast.
That's pretty good. I'm trying to stay. If I'm like 80% as fast as Eric, I'm in a really good spot.
That's
And
true.
That is more than 50%.
True. My PR on that is 8:17, which that was a fast day. My other ones today were full downhill trailhead to Backbone intersection, 40 minutes.
Okay, I'm 51.
Shishito peppers, more bread. What's this? Chabri? Cheese and bread. Cheese. Yeah.
It's a hell of a fucking place.
It is. Not one chicken, but two chickens.
Chicken dinner.
It's actually one chicken, two half chickens.
I got steak. You ready? Yeah, what's that? Is that a ribeye for me, Dad? You know I brought you home some ribeyes. All right, ready? Look at that piece. Ooh, good girl. All right, Sterling and I, we're gonna sleep on the floor. Mike gets to bed. Blaze gets to bed. What do you think, Blaze? How'd I do? How'd Dad do? He did pretty good, didn't he? Yeah. You got your blanket. You got a queen size bed. You got steak from Chavano. Life's good.
She got a lot of walks too.
She went on a lot of walks, not long walks. She likes that word. She's like, I could go on another one right now. All right. Good night, gang. Alright, post-gym, pre-run, here's what I am having. I like doing something a little light if I have multiple workouts in the morning. This morning's workout was about 60 minutes. I got about 30-35 minutes of downtime, so I want to refuel, and then I'm going to go for a 6-mile run. So I'm doing some of this grass-fed protein powder from Transparent Labs. This flavor, vanilla, peanut butter, the bomb. Cold brew coffee. I want a little more caffeine before my run. A banana, frozen berries in the smoothie for some more protein and also just consistency. Some Painterland Sisters. I really like this yogurt. Vanilla bean. Here's another little tip too that I'm just kind of trying out because I know that I usually hold a little more water weight when I'm taking creatine. I'm actually backing off creatine for these next 3 weeks leading into Chicago. I want to lose just a little bit more weight, ideally to be in the low 170s for Hyrox, just because I really feel like running is where it's at. I want to be able to run as close to like 350 1Ks as possible. And by losing some weight, I think I can get down there easier than just improving my run fitness in the next 3 weeks. So backing off on creatine, and then I'll ramp the creatine back up after Hyrox. But doing that just to shed a little bit of water weight and to get a little more lean. If I could only have one thing for the rest of my life, it'd be a really, really close tie between smoothies, smoothie bowls, and steak. I love smoothies. All right, that's where those guys are sleeping right now. Should I go wake them up? Let's go pound on the sprinter van. Tell them it's ready to ride. It's gonna be a beautiful day in Salida. Sun's coming up right now. It's like 6:30 in the morning. Taking Blaze out for a walk. Then I think we're gonna ride up there today. We're gonna ride the rainbow trails. Pot of Gold, Guts. A couple trails I've never ridden before. But you wanna go across? You're gonna get wet, buddy.
Come on in.
Good morning, guys.
Go biking?
Let's go biking.
6:30 a.m.
Yeah, the sun's out.
Time to go.
Yeah, pump up the tires, boys. You want to see who's in there? You want to see who's in there? Who's in there? Where's Jazzy? That's Sterling. That's Sterling. How cool. You guys slept out here in a car last night? That's awesome. Look at this. He wakes up looking like a mummy. It's a really unique pillow position there.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's nice. Keeps my legs warm under the sheets.
Smart.
Cozy.
All right, what's your sleep score, Sterling?
70. With a 40, my readiness is 40.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
bad.
Yeah.
You're about as prepared to walk to a coffee shop as anyone.
Oh, yeah.
My readiness is 73. I got 75 sleep, so our sleep is about the same, but I'm more ready than you.
I think my readiness is kind of jacked up because I don't wear it during the day, so it doesn't have all the other data to go off of.
Oh,
So
got it. You
I
only
think
sleep.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Registers everything.
Woke up early because of this girl right here. But 7 hours, 4 minutes of sleep. We got to bed a little late last night. REM sleep was not great. Restfulness, fair. Deep sleep, pretty good. Latency, 4 minutes. I fell right asleep. That's awesome. I actually never sleep all that well at elevation. Like the first night at elevation, we're up at 100 feet here. And I feel like it takes me a couple days to adapt to elevation to get good sleep. Like when I go to Leadville, I always sleep horrible my first few nights in Leadville. And I'm sure like if you're coming from sea level and trying to sleep in Denver, it definitely affects your sleep. All right, pre-workout. You guys want to try this today? A little blue raspberry pre-workout in the water bottles.
Hell yeah, brothers.
This is bulk. This is energy. This is energy right here. This is energy and tingles. Beta-alanine, citrulline. I don't know what. Betine.
Oh, you got it.
Dangerous?
Which one is it?
I'm going to put this in my water bottles today.
But there's two of them. There's
Smoke
Rainbow,
these
Pot of
boys.
Gold, Is it Guts Rainbow, Pot of Gold Loop? Or
Yeah. Guts, Rainbow, Pot of Gold Loop. 13 miles, but add on 8. Bickle can't do math, so you just got to tell him. You got to make it really complicated, and he can't figure it out, and then he just starts riding, and then he's got to figure out how to get home.
No, there's a pot of gold at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
bring some-
marijuana for you at the end.
I'll bring some pot for this.
All right, so got it loaded in the bike computer. So what we're doing today, this Pot of Gold Guts loop. Guts is supposed to be a fun downhill trail. These boys look ready. You ready?
Ready to go.
How's your butt feel?
But feels sore. We're going to see how long I can last on this trail that I've never done before, so.
Nice. Nice steep climb up.
Yeah.
Charlie, there's only one trail you've ever done before.
Yeah.
No, 2 trails. I got 2 trails.
He rode a bear. He went out Larry the Bear, but on a fat tire bike, so it doesn't really count.
Yeah, that was Eric's fault. He got a second great bike, and he gave me a fat tire bike. Classic Eric.
Yeah, compromise your positioning.
He
Just
gave me
wanted
a
to
fat
make
tire
sure in
bike.
case you were like
Well,
a,
he had the other pedals on it.
in case you were a stud athlete, you know.
In
Like,
case I was ready to show him up.
Yeah.
Can't have that happen.
didn't want to lose.
Although I think we've learned our lesson now. It's not really going to happen.
All right, Pot of Gold Trail. Never ridden this one. I think this is a big climb up to Guts. It's beautiful out. I love morning, evening rides. The light is just shimmering through the trees. Oh, baby. Lots of climbing. I think it's about a 1,300 foot climb and 4 miles on this baby. Settle in. This is narrow and very loose through here. This trail's a hell of a lot of climbing on loose rock. Not easy. Beautiful views of the mountains. Downhill trail, hopefully coming up soon, called Guts, which I've also never ridden before. Supposed to have some big jumps and big drops. Oh, look at that drop off. I don't want to go off that. Man, this is just like carved out of the bank. Wild. I think they just built this trail recently. Look at how narrow this is. Freaking wild. We got like a retaining wall on it. All right, gonna be looking down on Salida here in 1 second. There's Salida. Oh, hopefully all that loose gravel section's over. That was hard climbing. Thank God that's over with. Jeez Louise. All right, now we're on the Rainbow Trail for a bit. And then Guts. That was a gnarly climb. Man, oh man. All right, this trail's gonna be fun though, I think. Hello. Thank you. Hi. Yes. Cliffside, Jesus. Loose rock. This is what the Rainbow Trail looks like. Beautiful up here. It's a hard mountain bike trail though. Just tons of loose rocks everywhere and really punchy, steep climbs like this. Oh my God. Ow. Oh. Holy. 10 miles in. Feels like I've been climbing for days. Rough riding, baby, rough riding. Finally, some downhill. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is fun. Oh! Some lush in here. A little stream crossing. Oh yeah, I think this is Guts. Hell yeah. Wow. Yeah, this must be Guts, somewhere through here. Right, here is the Guts Trail. This one is supposed to be just an epic downhill trail. Yeah, already looks pretty gnarly. It's fucking steep, Jesus Christ. All right, ripping this down for a while. I've never ridden this one before, so I'm gonna take it a little conservative the first time. Holy shit, this is steep. Wild. Ride this a few times and you can frickin' rip it. Oh wow, this is gnarly. Holy, that's steep. Jesus, that's really steep. Wow. Jesus, these drops are insane. All right, not going well so far. Definitely chickening out on some of these. Don't really want to go over the handlebars right before Hyrox. All right, just ripping the road back down to the hotel. That was an awesome ride. Woo. It's gonna be about 20 miles when I finish. A little under 3,000 feet of elevation gain. 2 hours, 20 minutes about when I finish. That was awesome. All right, that's a wrap. Dude, that was hard. Woo! That was a ton of climbing in the beginning. 3,000 feet, right? Dude, I walked some of those like loose gravel sections. I was just so fatigued. All right, 2 hours, 15 minutes. Sounds good. That was a fun one. That was a long one. 18.5 miles. Wasn't one of my favorite ones, but good training day. Also just perfect timing. It's 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock is checkout. Right on the dot. I like to always run it as close as I possibly can. All right, Blaze, guess what's next? We're going to Sweetie's to get a sandwich and then home. Then back home, buddy. And guess what? Mom's gonna be home tomorrow. You're gonna be so excited when she gets back. Mom's been gone for 8 days now. You don't like anybody more than Mom, huh, Blaze? Even when I feed you steak, Mom's still number one. Sweeties. Refueling. I got the Last Crusade, which is turkey, avocado, mayonnaise, sourdough bread. It's so good. And a pickle. The pickles are bomb. You sure can. Blaze, yep.
Blaze, hi Blaze, she wants your sandwich.
Yeah, she definitely wants my sandwich. No problem at all. Look at that. Just perfection. Blaze knows what's up. Can't wait to get a little bit of that. Come on, Blaze.
Take that a little bit.
Nice.
No.
Matcha latte from Howell. They're so good. It's definitely a Salida staple. All right, we are headed back to Denver. Quick trip, but this is only about 2 hours and 20 minutes away. And it's a beautiful drive, so it's a great road trip. Cool bikes, huh, Blaze? Aren't those cool bikes? Yeah. All right, until next time. Peace out, Salida.
Polio back to that go.
Such a beautiful place. Look at the snow still on the mountains. It's melting quick though. In about a month, most of that'll be melted.